Hello, welcome.
Hi Beverly, hi Debbie, hi Cheryl, Brenda, Diane, Jennifer, Cindy, Sandy, Arlene, Kathy,
They're waiting for us.
It's roll call.
Gina, Louise, Carrie. Welcome. Good evening.
Should I get my mask?
Why?
Because you have yours. I thought maybe we could.
It's an accessory piece now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Like, what kind do you have?
I'm just using my glasses for now.
Hi Kathy, hi Karen, hi Kitty.
I have the old-fashioned kind. I don't have the fancy ones.
Hope everybody's doing well tonight.
But you're going to show one, right? How to make it?
Sure.
The mask?
Hi
I see a
Christina.
machine somewhere over here.
On the embroidery.
Embroidery machine.
That was a different project. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. We've got some show and tell for you. I'm going to show you how to make, this is kind of one of my UFOs. Ooh.
Get in real close, Robert, because those are so little. I don't know if you can see them. I don't know how they work with them.
They're
But
cool.
Joan's going to show you how it's real easy.
These are super easy to make.
Hi
These
Karen.
are just quarter square triangles. We did one time, long time ago on the live show. We showed you how to
Show
make
25 or something like that.
those. Something like that. What show are we on?
I don't know, 60. So,
Well, it's been over a year, so.
hi Matthew.
If we
Hi
knew
Tom.
we'd have 100 show
Hi, Patsy.
And have balloons and confetti.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we get to 100, we'll.
How will you know? You don't know where you are now.
Well,
Well, I don't know. Maybe somebody can count them tomorrow.
yeah. Well, I mean, somebody will get
I
back.
lose track of counting.
Hi Carrie. Hi
I get to
Diana.
25 and then I start over.
Oh.
Okay. 25. Start over.
1, 2, 3.
And then the phone rings.
Yeah. So what's going on at Quilters HQ? Hi Mary.
Did you do that out of scraps or did you really work to find coordinating fabric?
They were in a pack
Oh,
that I bought. I think I bought like 2 of them. They were 3.5-inch pre-cut squares.
Hi Julie.
Really?
It was
Hi,
at a quilt
Christina.
shop, and I don't remember where I got them.
I don't think I've ever seen
Oh, that's what I was
3.5
gonna
inch
say.
square.
I think the shop cut them.
ah.
Well, that's kind of cool.
So, what's going on?
If you don't know who we are, we're Quilters HQ in Overland Park, Kansas, and Windmill Sewing Center, the Bernina store, the Brother store in Overland Park, Kansas, and Sewing Machines Express in Springfield, Missouri.
We're a lot of things.
We are a lot of things. We have multiple personalities.
Just a lot of hats.
A lot of hats, that's right.
A
So
lot of hats. So, what are we doing today?
we can start wherever.
I have this wonderful fabric I'll show
We
right
got
away.
show and
Oh.
tell first.
So-
We'll just get it out of the way.
Show and tell.
Show and tell.
If
You
you're-
want Susie first?
Sure.
Okay.
Last week I showed you a UFO that
Easier, we can get a close-up of your show and tell.
And your niece.
no. Hi! Last
Hi,
week
Nina.
I brought in a UFO that I decided I was going to finish, and it was a quilt as you go, and I talked about the pieces that bring the blocks together. Well, I finished it today, got the binding on it and everything. Ta-da!
Oh, it came out beautiful.
Looks nice.
Look at that.
That looks
Very
really
nice.
Your framing is all stuffed and everything. It's not like
You're framing.
Well, last week I was concerned because of the sashing here that there wasn't any batting, and so it just was like fabric on fabric, and it just looked wilty. And Michelle from the Bernina store, we were talking about it, and she gave me a couple suggestions, which required taking some things apart, but I did, and it was well worth it. And then when it says read all the instructions or watch the video, again, you should do that. So after the fact, I watched the video and understood how you make that happen as you're sewing so that you don't end up where I was. But this was a learning project for me, and I have a couple other of them that are the pre-printed quilt as you go that I'm going to do. But I'm working on UFOs at home right now. So this is one.
Turn it around. Let's see the back.
Just plain.
Very nice,
Don't get
though.
too close.
Good colors.
What I did on the binding, I stitched it down on one side, and I didn't want to try and do a straight stitch to attach the other side, nor did I want to sit on the couch and hand stitch it. So I just chose a decorative stitch on my machine, and I just whipped that around the whole project. Went a lot faster. Didn't matter if it hit the line or not, because it was decorative, right? I'm going with that.
Yeah.
So, and it's in my house. Nobody's going to get real particular about it. So that's what I did.
Hi, Debbie. Hi, Queen.
Chantel.
Good.
Oh, we got lots of show and tells.
This is
Almost finished.
Another great one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So is this the one that you were working on the Bernina demo?
It is.
Didn't that turn out nice? I like that pattern.
The colors
So-
came out really nice.
Don't get too close.
See, I'm not alone in that.
This was my first real attempt at sit-down quilting, and I did this on the Q20 or the Q16, and I used another batik on the back. I wanted to say they were different colors, but yeah, they are. So this is also going to be the binding.
You made it look effortless when you were doing it. It was really fun to
Well, this
watch.
is not a hard pattern. You could have done it too. Anybody could do this. This is just going like this. Wasn't there a dance like that?
I don't know. Go the other way and I'll tell you.
Doesn't one arm go up?
You are mesmerized
No,
now.
I think that's washing the windows, or what was that movie years ago? Paint
Karate
the
Kid,
Fence?
yeah.
Paint the
Yeah.
Fence.
Hi, Miranda. Hi, Donna.
What they did in the 20s.
Yeah, I think they did that in the 20s. I don't know what it was called. Somebody tell us what that's called.
It was all part of the Charleston or something where they did the new.
Oh, the
man,
Charleston.
we missed it. We got to get Marilyn to do it again.
Yep.
No?
Marilyn did the Charleston there.
So that's my show and tell.
Or sneakers.
I actually got something. Well, it's almost finished. So
Yeah, but
still
it
have
looks
to do the
really
binding.
nice. Looks very
but-
professional.
Mhm.
Show
Very.
them what you're working on now.
Oh, we started this. We'll have to go over there. We actually started this on the long arm. And of course, you know, we sell long arms here, so we had to. That's something else entirely. This is another UFO from way back. Here, I can turn it this way. And then you can see it a little bit better. There we go. So we started this on a long arm, and I'm finishing it here. And so I was just going around and playing and trying to get as good as on the sit-down quilting machine as I am on the long arm. I got a little ways to go. So
I think it's
So how did you start then? Did you start with bigger type swirls and then you worked on stippling, or how did you decide what you were going to do? What's your process?
what's my process
Yeah.
for quilting?
Yeah, when you sat down, how did the
Well, it's kind of like drawing. So you have this big blank canvas and you just start imagining things on it. And sometimes, like with this, like the inside here, I just started quilting and I did some pebbles, and then I was like, oh, well, a feather will look good here. And so I added that. And so that's kind of how it evolved. I'm going to do some, not cross hatch, but right here, I'm going to actually put in some hourglasses, I guess that would be what it would be called. And then I'm going to divide this in half and do heavy quilting here and leave this kind of almost empty so that it'll add a little bit more dimension to the quilt. And then I haven't decided what I'm doing here yet. So I don't know.
yeah?
We'll all find out together.
Sometimes it just comes to you as you sit down and get started.
Sometimes. Sometimes I have a plan. Sometimes that plan turns into something else.
Why do you what is it about the sit down
The what?
that you are not as comfortable with as the long arm? Is it because the long arm has the quilt tied down so it's easier to work on and you're moving?
Well, I had a long arm for 20 years-ish, and so you get used to that motion of moving the machine. It's a little harder to transition from the long arm to a sit down, but it's really easy to transition from a sit down to a long arm. I don't know why, but before I had the long arm, I did quilting on a domestic machine, and I shoved some really big quilts through a really small throat on the machine, and that helped me decide that I needed a long arm. I'm not kidding, really small throat. Big quilts. So that was a really easy decision because I was totally addicted to quilting, and so I don't know that I would want to get a long arm again, a stand-up, because I kind of like sitting down and quilting.
But if
So
you wanted to stand up there, you could.
yeah, with this one I could stand up and quilt, but you know, my knees get tired. I'm, 20 years older now, and I kind of like to sit down and quilt. So, I'm learning this now, but it's just like everything else, time and practice, and you will get better and better. I know Cindy Needham, she quilts on a sit-down quilting machine. I think it's a Juki, and she does phenomenal work.
Whole cloth, that's what she's famous
She
for.
does.
There's
Famous
some great tools out there now too to
Yeah.
help you along in that process,
Mhm.
like ruler work and things like that.
Yep, there's been a lot of progress in the whole quilting world. So I've been playing with this. I'll finish this up so that you can come in and demo it. Marilyn keeps giving me the, funny eye about, I want to try it.
Yeah, I just stand back and she says, well, here, work on mine. I said, oh, well, your life.
Yep. So,
Somebody wanted you to hold your quilt up again so they could
Okay.
see the corner, how you did this corner down here at the bottom.
so we demoed this method. So this was just a jelly roll that I sewed together and then cut in half and sewed those into quarter squares, right? Yep, quarter squares. And so I had a whole extra block left, and so I just kind of
That's
tossed
like
it
a
cue
there.
there. It does look like a
Yes.
cue.
Yeah.
Let's see. Quilters?
Quilters.
HQ.
There you go.
Guess what the cue? Oh, we have a cue. Now I just need to make.
Give me an O. Give me an A.
I can't remember. There's a Y, M,
You
C.
should have laid the back out as an H.
Maybe.
Yeah, I could never get that real good.
So, somebody was requesting.
By the time I Y-M-C.
There was a viewer on that was requesting us to explain the tube ruler a little bit.
Okay. Do we have one?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. So we do have a video out there, don't we? We do?
I think we might. So, but a general overview maybe again. Yeah.
So strip tube ruler, 4 strips, and you sew them all together. And you make a tube with it, and then you lay this across and you line up the line on here, whether you're working with the 2.5 or whatever size strips you're using. I think when I think it's still in progress.
Jelly rolls work really good with that.
That's the one Maryland was.
Mhm. Yep. And so when you make your cut, this point up here is on the tip of your sewing line, and so when you open it up, you just have a square. Works great. These are $26.99.
We do have them in stock.
We do have them in stock. I don't know how many we have, but if you want one, we do have a video. I think Chloe might post a link to it, and so you can watch that. Comment, make it mine, strip tube ruler, and so
6 including that one.
6 including this one. So if you do shop with us, the process is you comment, make it mine, and whatever the item is, let us know whether you want to pick it up or you want us to ship it to you. We charge $4.99 for shipping. If it's over $75, shipping is free. And we will, if you haven't shopped with us before, you need to go to one of our websites and register for Make It So. It's right up on the top of the website, little banner. Click on there, and that gives us your information so that we can email you an invoice that has a clickable button to pay, and you can either pay with a credit card or PayPal. And then once we get that payment, we will ship it off to you. Easy
Hi,
peasy.
Elizabeth. Hi, Georgia.
Hello, thank you for joining us
We miss
tonight.
you too, Libby.
Hey, Libby.
She's out teaching the nation's children.
Somebody has to.
Yep, somebody has to.
No, I really admire people that can do that. I am not one of them.
Somebody asked about the iron that you demoed last week, what that brand was and the price.
That is Laura Star Iron. That one is the portable one, and it is $4.99. Has continuous steam. It's a dry steam, kills COVID on your mask, or actually, for better purpose, it gets rid of the bad breath that's stuck in your mask if you don't wash it. Like you drank coffee all day and then you put it up and like, woo.
It's a reminder mask.
It'll remind you, but it does. It freshens your mask up. Just amazing. It can do that for
Pretty
drapes
nice.
in your house too. And it's heavy
Hi, Bob.
too, so you don't have to put a lot of effort when you're ironing. So if you
Hi,
want to
Jay.
try that out, come on in the shop and we'll set you up a demo on it.
Hi,
I've got
Jane.
plenty of stuff you can iron.
Oh, yeah. Or come in and get a demo steam.
Well, that would be the demo.
Demo
I
steam.
just put a stack of stuff there. Can you press this? No, I'm just kidding.
Huh? We could offer that service.
We could.
Uh,
So, what else do we have? New fabric Marilyn
Hi,
wants
Karen.
to show you.
Okay.
You want me to move or?
We'll
No.
come over there. Yeah.
We're still waiting for our really great new fabric. right? Thursday is
Yeah,
supposed
the
to be
big
in.
shipment's
Well,
coming in
some of it.
Thursday.
Some of it, like 20 bolts of it, is coming in Thursday.
Yeah.
20 bolts. That'll be good. I won't be back in until, what, Tuesday or Wednesday of the next week?
So you'll be in at 40 bolts.
Well, this is more kind of bee fabric and sunflowers. And if you look real close, you can see the little bees. I know that there are a lot of you who still like bees a lot, and we have other bee material here.
Well, it's pretty.
But
yeah.
yeah, this one has kind of a rusty red background to it, and this one has kind of a grayish blue. And it has bees too, of course. So
Yeah, it
those are
does. That's cool.
$12.99 a yard, and if you're interested in either one of them, oh, look at that.
That's our color of the month.
Color of the month goes very well with that. This was honey, sweet honey or something.
It's on the bottom.
No, the names aren't
Oh.
on the bottom.
Just the number.
Because I don't have my glasses on, I couldn't read it anyway.
Golden honey.
Golden honey, like golden honeybees, yes.
That was the Airfill color of the month.
So if
Hi,
you're
Brenda.
if you're interested in either of those, say make it mine, be brown, whatever, and make it mine, be gray.
How much is it?
It's $12.99 a yard.
$12.99 a yard.
Yeah. So I'm going to lay those aside, along with the thread.
You did get a compliment. Your hair is growing out very nicely.
It is
from the
growing out.
haircut.
I was going to say, I was going to show you where it's growing. It's not growing outright, and oh well. Hey,
Thanks,
it's just
Kathy.
hair. So we also have in some kind of leopard print. Is that what it
I
is?
think it is leopard.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
so.
that's what it's supposed to be, but I'm really waiting to see a blue leopard in the wild. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Where would we see that?
I don't know, Mars, maybe Jupiter.
But this is an interesting mixer.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It is $12.99 a yard, so it's called Isabel Animal Skin Blue. Why don't you just call it Blue Animal Skin? Say make it mine, Blue Animal Skin, and it's $12.99 a yard.
They all have a real nice feel. to
They
them.
do feel good.
Soft and nice.
This is the same thing in a pale green. Make it mine. Pale green animal skin. No, it's called olive. Call it
Yeah, it's
olive
olive,
animal
yeah.
skin. And it's $12.99 a yard. Make it mine. Olive skin.
Hi, Veronica.
This is my favorite though, because it looks a little more natural, I think.
When you separate it from the others.
When you separate it from the others. Animal skin cream. Make it mine, animal skin cream, and it's also $12.99. So those are the latest new fabrics in the store, and hopefully by next Thursday, is it this Thursday? By the next show, we'll have some more fantastic fabric to show you.
So Libby wanted everybody to know she would rather be quilting than teaching the children.
I'll
Laugh
bet.
out loud.
Libby's on there. Hi, Libby. We miss you. So that's what I have, but I do have a little safety tip for you too to go along with that.
All right.
Is this the one where
Safety
you throw me
tip.
under the bus?
No, I don't think I'll throw you under the bus.
Okay.
I'd have to get you out from under there then. Too much work. We recently had invested in a ring system in the house, okay? And it has a camera that shows everything that goes by, like, you know, when the people mowing the lawn go by, it rings every time the lawnmower goes across the front of the yard. Ring, 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 ring. And the dog barks then. It's a real zoo at our house. But anyway, they send out alerts. You know, you can send out alerts on there if you've had something happen at your home to alert the other people who use Ring in your area. And so one of the things I wanted to caution you about, and I know you all know this, but it never hurts to be reminded. Don't leave your car in the driveway locked or unlocked with the keys inside. Not just the keys, but if they can get in your car with whatever means possible, they can get your garage door open, or once they have that, they have the keys to your house. And that's what's been happening in our neighborhood.
Wow.
Not the near neighborhood,
Right.
but the surrounding neighborhoods. And the other thing that's happening is they're breaking into these cars and pickups and whatever, and stealing trash bags full of trash. Now, the only thing I can figure is they're getting addresses, names, you know, account numbers,
Personal
maybe, other things.
information.
Exactly. So I know this isn't a funny subject, so just take it to heart, and I don't want to see anybody get hurt out there. So take care. That's my thing for
Protect
tonight.
your information.
There you go. Thank you, everyone.
Libby wanted everybody to know that she's working on a king-size quilt on her domestic machine right now with the glide thread, and it's coming out really nicely.
She likes to
So,
glide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So.
Great big quilt. Little bitty throat.
She
Quilting
knows.
machine.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah, she wants a long arm.
I made the leap. I
She wants a long arm.
went all in.
I think that's just a sweet thing sitting there. It really is. But I haven't tried it yet. I think that without even sitting down to it.
I think somebody really wants to try
Yeah.
it, and I've been hogging it. I'm not ashamed to say.
No,
I
you
have
should.
been. But now there's another one set up. Robert got the Juki set up for me, so I can just move over there, quilt
No,
on
you
that.
can't.
So these are super easy. So I brought this in, and everybody said, "What kind of craziness is that?"
Maybe not quite.
Maybe not quite,
Exactly that.
Maybe even worse.
but because they're so small. But these are so easy to make. So I wanted to show you how to make them. Not going to show you quite as small as these. These were pre-cut squares. They were 3.5 inches, I think.
That's what you said, yeah.
I think they were. You lose a little bit in the process, but
Little.
I found some charm squares, and so I made this one, and then I trimmed it up using the Quilter Select 3.5 inch ruler. So, if you use this one to cut your blocks out, you can wind up with these little 1.5 inchers.
Okay, good tip.
There you go. You get double duty out of it. So,
Hi, Teresa.
Make silicone fingertips so that you can pick things up like that without. We went through this once before, didn't we?
Hey, that's a good question.
I think it is. Don't you all think that's a good thing?
Somebody needs to invent the silicone fingertips.
Maybe so.
Mine feel that way sometimes. I mean, they're not really silk. Yeah, they are silk. Never mind. Go ahead, Joan.
So to start, I've got my two, I like a light and a dark next to each other. You can see by the quilt. So all I do, and I've showed some people this before, we actually did a demo on this
Early on, didn't
early
we?
on in the store. Made a different block though. That one's worth looking up, and I'm dragging that one out too to work on it some more. So all I'm going to do is, and so we don't have to come back over here, I'm actually going to turn it and draw another line and do the same thing on the other side.
And you're doing it from point to point?
Point to point. And this is going to be a guide for our sewing line. Isn't this fascinating, watching me draw lines?
It is. It's like watching a snail crawl.
You've done that, haven't you?
They're slimy. And they leave a trail.
Okay, and I'm just using a regular graphite pencil. You won't see them anyway. This actually turns into your cut line. So once we piece these, you're going to actually trim these on here.
I don't know if anybody was like me, but when I was first starting, I cut a bunch of blocks out thinking, oh, I'll just cut that material up into blocks and I'll have it for future quilts. I didn't realize, you could have all different size blocks, but I went back and started looking at the blocks that were similar size, and I started doing things with them like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of fun to see what all you've got in your, this looks like what she would have done if she hadn't bought the little packages of them. But go back into your stash. I bet you can find all different sizes of square blocks.
I know you have hordes of charm packs out
those
there.
would be perfect.
Those are perfect for this. Look at you hide. So we're going to I'm going to grab this ruler because I got to trim this and I don't want to get back up. And then we need this handy tool.
The whatchamacallit tool?
The whatchamacallit.
No, Donna calls it something else.
Doohickey.
The
Doohickey.
doohickey tool, that's right.
Multi-function finger presser tool.
Who came up with that name in the conference boardroom for that tool?
I don't know, but I think they were having wine slushies.
Yeah, I think they could have been having wine slushies that day. What do we call it? I don't know.
Let's do a tongue
I
twister.
just want to know who said, yeah, that's a great idea.
We're having a wine slushy.
So I've got all my tools. You got a short little tour of the store there. Okay, I'm going to move this because we don't need it. Wonderful little gadget for using your seams. And so I have this set up for the straight stitch on this machine, and all I'm going to do is sew down each side of this. So I'm lining up my foot with the edge, and the 1/4-inch ruler doesn't really matter with this. And then I'm just going to sew a straight line if I can find the pedal. Not even going to trim, just going to turn around and go the other way on the other side of that same line.
You got your speed turned down?
I do. And trim.
I thought the race car was broken there for a minute.
Oh, this one doesn't sew quite as fast. So I'm going to come right over here. I'm going to lay my ruler with the side that doesn't move right on that line and cut.
Marilyn, they want you to know you can buy the silicone fingertips. They make them.
Okay.
Where do I go?
I don't know. I think we should order some.
Office store, probably.
And so
Here.
I'm going to use this tool and press the seam over because I don't want to walk back to the iron. Same thing with this side. Always press towards the dark unless you're pressing open. It always surprises me how well this tool works
Hi, Chris.
every time I use it. And then my line kind of looks like it's drunk on that side, and this side looks a little bit better. So I'm going to sew in this direction.
That's what happened when they invented the tool there. They were, I can't believe it works this good.
And we're going to do the same thing again. And I'm just kind of aiming towards that line. It doesn't have to be. As long as you have a straight line, you'll be fine.
Hi, Amber. Hi, Tris. Welcome.
And then again, lay your ruler down, cut. Okay, really cut this time. And there you have the start of that block.
Hi, Linda.
Okay, and then you actually get two out of this. So I'm going to press this one, and then we'll go back over and trim them up. And if you haven't used the Quilter Select rulers, I think these are $2.99, maybe.
Thingamabobbers?
$7.99.
Yeah, 7, 9, something like that.
We're gonna check for you.
110, 220, 221, whatever it takes.
Isn't that electricity?
Oh, let's have an auction.
Let's have an auction.
Or a guess. $7.99.
$7.99. These are amazing. So, multiple uses. Be a stylist if you're turning and you want to push your points out. Got a little pointy thing. Push your fabric up under your needle and not stab yourself with the needle or sew through your finger. Manicure. I've done that. I've actually had the needle come down through my fingernail. And I was like...
Sounds horrifying.
Well, no, it didn't go into my finger. It just went through my fingernail.
Oh.
So it was like, whoo, that was close.
And you should really probably just buy 2 of them because, as many viewers have
Yeah.
told us, sometimes they get misplaced.
We have 4
And-
of those.
You have 4 of those now? Oh, we have 4.
I had 2 because I couldn't find one, so I bought another one.
Where's that slushy machine?
Hi, Mary.
Pretty soon, actually. So then, do we have a question?
No.
What you're doing again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what are you working on?
So this is making quarter square triangles the easy way. Could say it's cheater way, but I like easy better. So let's go trim these up. Grab my rotary cutter. And my other stuff too. I'll take it with me and put it away. And so if you haven't used these Quilter Select rulers, this is when it, well, I guess it got flipped away.
Ooh, Jennifer said that she went through her fingernail too, missed her finger. So.
See? Not just me.
Oh, that's my fault. I put it back. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So this is the 3.5 inch size. So the nice thing about these rulers, because we're used to rulers that just do this all over our fabric, these will actually grip. It really is handy when you start squaring up blocks.
Yeah, Diana said that you should have one at each sewing station. So you need a doohickey at each sewing station.
Pretty much. I kind of agree.
How many sewing stations does Diane have?
And so the
I
nice
don't know.
thing is you can just cut, rotate, rotate,
Hi, Roger.
and rotate. I got
We
one
are
more
located in
there.
Overland Park, Kansas, Chris. We have two stores in Overland Park, and then we have one in Springfield, Missouri. I think it was located in
Think
Ohio or
There
Indiana.
we go. There we go. And there you go. And you can just line these up just like that. Once you trim them up, and then save that for your dog beds. Super easy block to make, and you can make something really fun and cute with it. This is very traditional colors. Every time I think I'm done with traditional or reproduction fabrics, they come out with something new that makes me go, oh, I could make something with that. Yes, I was counting as I was cutting.
Counting your fingers.
Well,
Yeah, we shouldn't talk about that anymore.
Yeah, we
'cause
should
somebody
not.
hit their finger and said it's a little numb.
Oh.
Yeah. I've done that. People were here at the cutting table talking about it. So we're not going to talk while I'm cutting.
Yeah, she cut the end of her finger off one time, so
I did.
that was not a happy day.
Plus it messed up all the material, didn't it?
No, I did not bleed on the fabric.
She did not bleed on the fabric, you're right.
Good girl.
It's kind of a funny story because I had another little incident.
So somebody was asking what the brand of the ruler that you're using is?
These are Quilters Select. They're from Alex Anderson. This one is $15.99. Comment Make It Mine. Quilters Select 3.5. And whether or not you'd like us to ship it to you or you're going to come in the store and pick one up. It's great size for fat quarters. You can see there's just a little bit lost to square it up.
And they do not slip.
Yeah,
They
Marilyn
don't.
loves them.
So yeah, we use them in the store to cut fabric all the time. This one is the 6x24.
I use that more than anything.
Yeah, the 6
Yeah.
by
It's a great
24.
size.
So what are some of the sizes? They were asking a little bit about some of the sizes.
Let me grab one and I'll read them off to you.
What size did you use to what size did you square the blocks when starting with the 3.5 inch?
They don't make one that size. So I think I just used a little square one like this and I had to line it up. So these are 1.5 inch finished. Most of them are 1.5 inch finished.
Hey, that's how we quilt.
That is how we
the
quilt.
way we
So
roll.
this is kind of, and you can see it in the border. So the border is actual size. And so when I quilt this, even though it looks like it has some fullness in it, the border is truly the size of the quilt. So these are 1.5, so I would have cut them to 2-inch squares. And so I just used a ruler about this size and trimmed them down.
Okay, now they're all saying they couldn't work at a quilt store. They wouldn't have any money left.
We don't. That's right. That's why we're still here. And you just slobber over the new machines that come in, and it's really terrible.
So sizes, this is an absolute must-have. The 3x18. This is a great size ruler. This one is $28.99. Comment Make It Mine. Say QS 3x18. So the sizes that they have are 3x12. So this one in a 12-inch. 3x18, which is this one. 5x5, 6x6, 6.5 by 6.5, 6x12, which is another very common one. 6x24, 8x8, 8.5 by 8.5, which is another really good size to have. 8.5 by 24, 10 by 10, 12 by 12, 12.5 by 12.5, and 18 by 18.
And what's the new ones? Didn't they have some bigger
There
square
are
ones that
some
came
new
out?
ones that are not on there. They have a 6.5 by 24. They have a 2 Is it 2 or 2.5? 2.5 by 2.5.
Mhm. That's what we have two of up there.
We have 2 of those. So they have the 3.5 by 3.5 and 4.5 by 4.5.
I'll give you a hint that I've done because Marilyn can attest to this. I don't have just a couple of any one thing.
That's right. I'm
That's
sorry.
that's what Amber just said. She's got them at all her
Well,
workstations.
So that I can remember what I have without having to pull every ruler down and looking at it. On one of the, I'm going to take this one because it's larger.
It doesn't have it, huh?
No, it doesn't. Some of the packages or some of the rulers on her front sheet saying it's a Quilter Select, it will have listed all of the sizes on there. So I save one of those wrappers and I check off which ones I have. So if I'm in doubt, I can just go over to that as a reference. Now, if they come up with an app the way AccuQuilt does, you can download an app for them and list all of your dies in there. Then when you order your AccuQuilt dies, it will tell you if you already have it or not.
So that's an inventory tip.
Yes.
And you can always gift them if you have,
Yeah, that's a good.
I mean, we love sharing our hobbies. I'm not going to say addictions.
Addictive hobbies.
Our hobbies. These last a long time. This one has thousands of yards of cutting on it. This is the original one that we opened. You can see, if you get real close, how the coating has come away a little bit. That's from finger oil. So it's not from friction that it's going to rub off. This is where we've been picking it up so many
Picking it
times.
up or just holding it, yeah.
How much is the really big square one that you were
The
talking
18
about?
by 1860 something.
You could use it as a serving tray.
Oh, you know what else you can use it for is to lay your blocks on while you're putting them together.
Oh, then you'd have all the.
Nick, read it.
I got it. $69.99. So in AccuQuilt, we're working with a 12.5-inch block. It's the Storm at Sea. If you just flip
Hi,
this
Beth.
over to the flat side where it's got the pieces, you can lay out your block on it too.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll kind of slide if you go like that, but they're not going to shift around on you too much. So that's another thing that you can do with
Use
a
the
ruler
bigger
this
one?
big.
Maybe when
Um,
you press them with the acorn stuff, they're flatter.
They're
Maybe
flatter,
then-
they'll
Yeah,
stick a little better.
maybe so.
Great for t-shirt quilts.
Mm.
So you can stabilize your t-shirt and then, cut the seams open, plop this down, cut it out, and you are good to go. So
When you were sewing them, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening totally. Can you imagine that? I was busy giving her a bad time. So I just turned it over and you have the seams all going in the same direction on those. Did you mention that over there? So that
No.
when you put your quilt together, that little center thing, you don't have to use your hammer on it like I do.
They make a quilt hammer?
No,
Oh, okay.
she improvises.
Did you
A
borrow
lightweight
one?
hammer, huh?
did you borrow one out of the garage?
Yeah, I keep it in my sewing room. Now it's mine. So
Thanks,
So
Pat.
it's
We
really-
appreciate that.
what did she say? She does it too? No?
She said she wished we were on more than one night a week.
Oh, isn't that nice? But I do.
That's why we do reruns on Friday.
We're like Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, like Gilligan's Island, yes.
Really. I just tap it a few times with my hammer. And it works pretty good, but it works better if you do it the right way. That's what I'm showing you.
Okay.
So
Where'd the rubber
Yeah.
mallet go?
Where'd the rubber mallet go? Yeah.
I
So
had
when
to
you,
hide it.
that is a really good point.
Yeah.
Your seams are already nested for you. I like this method because this is the point when you make triangles like this.
Mhm.
This is where all of you do it. I've seen you do it. I do it too. You go right at the point to see how good of a sewer.
Right, right.
Are her points matching up?
You
I
notice
know.
I don't have many show and tells, right?
But they match up every single time. Now you can look and see that not all of my corners match up, but we don't look at those
Hi,
quite,
Georgia.
quite
if
as
you keep
much.
it busy enough, you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, on that tube ruler that you showed a while ago,
Mhm.
it's the same thing on there.
Yeah.
I mean, because the way you're laying it out and then sewing it together, and there's
Mhm.
that one little thread you clip, they all fit together perfectly. And believe me, I'm not perfect. And so I did. My quilt turned out. It's really hard to
You had
believe.
me fooled all these years. I looked up to you for your perfection.
I told you to wear your earplugs tonight.
I'm sorry.
It's a family thing.
Anyway.
It's a
But
family
anyway,
thing.
that tube ruler does a similar thing,
Yeah.
only for bigger quilts. You know, that's how you made that one quilt that you showed
Yeah.
tonight, wasn't it?
How much is the 8 by 8.5 inch by 24.5?
We should just go over there.
Somebody was
maybe we
asking to
should.
see the wall.
See the wall of quilt.
They can see
rulers.
Joan's points on here because she used the tube ruler to cut those.
I think
Didn't
I
you?
didn't use the
That
tube
wasn't
ruler
for
on
this
that.
one?
No,
Nope.
Well,
I just
no,
used a
I'm
regular
sorry,
ruler.
guys. Her
Right.
points always match.
$59.99.
Let's zoom in and see. Okay.
They
yep,
do.
they
They match pretty darn good.
Told you. No close
Roberts.
do.
$59.99.
$59.99 for the 8.5 by 24.
So let's take them over. They can see all of them. Because there's a quilting ruler too. So if you do have a long arm or a sit down, they make a high shank ruler just like this that you can set it down on your fabric.
Oh, cool. I don't have one
And-
of those, but I think it would be cool if I did. I thought you did.
So you can use it with your long arm. It's really nice because it has that grip where you can just slide your long arm or your quilt along your foot.
Oh,
You have the foot. These are those.
that's good too.
So which ones are we looking at?
I think it was the 8.5 by 11.
8.5 by
Or,
11.
I'm sorry, the 8.5.
8.5 by 24 is $59.99.
Okay.
The 8.5 by 8.5, $29.99. Oh, and we didn't even talk about this.
Oh, the new rotary cutter, yeah.
New 60 millimeter rotary cutter.
Yeah, this one's new.
This is new.
So this just came out.
And it is $64.99. Just came out, brand new from Alex Anderson. So right or left-handed.
It's a good size rotary cutter there.
That is a good size rotary cutter. Here's the 2.5.
Oh, that one's new as well, isn't it?
This is one of the new ones.
So yeah,
Oh.
the 2.5.
$13.99.
The cat would knock that off my table.
And then this is the quilting ruler. So
For the long arm.
for the long arm, has little finger holes in the back.
Oh, nice.
$18.99. It's great if you have a long arm, either the stand-up or the sit-down kind, as long as you have the ruler foot. Which reminds me, I need to ask Joel for the ruler foot.
Want me to
Um,
get him on the phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, get him on the phone.
This is the 6 by 24,
6 by 12.
6 by 12. Sorry, I can't measure today. It's $24.99 for this one. That's where the 24 came from. So these are also on our website, and we can ship them to you if you're not here local.
What's the websites?
Okay, so this one, where the majority of these are going to be, is quiltershq.com. The other stores are windmillsewingcenter.com and QHQ and the number 2.com for Sewing Machines Express. And I think that's us. Oh, we got a giveaway.
We do. We have a giveaway. Yeah.
I almost forgot.
The quilting magnets.
The quilting magnets. Hanger.
Quilt hangers.
Quilt hangers. So, this is it's a staple stuck to it. I'm like, who is stapling? I'm like, oh, they're magnets.
Yeah.
They're strong. If you went through plastic and paper and
They are pretty strong. If you don't want to, I was gonna use that. I was
stick
gonna
to his
demo the
cup?
cup.
He's magnetized my coffee.
Sort of.
Look at that.
I guess so. It's got stuff in it, or I would do it like the
Anything happens on the live.
it's live.
Kathy, you've been on the show.
So, one lucky viewer will win these. Invisible hangers. Those are pretty cool. Do we have a winner?
We're working
Oh,
on it.
no, sorry.
Just a minute. Give us a couple seconds.
Chop, chop.
The-
Background music.
Veronica
Anticipation, but-
Catrabon.
Veronica, congratulations.
If
So,
you haven't been to the website and registered,
go to the website and register so that we can find you tomorrow when we start processing all of this information. If you're local, just let us know if you'll pick it up, or if you'd like, we can ship it to you.
Mhm.
So, congratulations, Veronica. That's us for tonight.
look for the fabric sale on the next one, right?
Is it going to be another birthday sale?
Well, the new fabrics are coming in, right? So some are coming in Thursday. Maybe some more, so we'll at least have 20 bolts, right?
Yeah,
To show.
there's about 20.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Woohoo! Yeah, I know we've talked about
Now
it.
nobody
forever.
wants to work on Wednesday. So remember, you can always go back and rewatch.
Yep.
Yes, please do.
If you've got a suggestion for the show, be sure and comment and send
Something
it
you'd
in.
like to see,
Yeah.
Yep. Something you'd like to see demoed? New
as
techniques?
long as there's no blood involved.
Question.
You're morbid tonight.
Sorry. I could do that
Okay.
I'm staying very quiet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So what do we say?
How do we send off the show?
Make it so.
Have a great week, everyone. Enjoy your evening. Happy
Thank you.
quilting
Happy quilting.
and sewing.
And watch your
sewing.
fingers.
Watch your fingers.